Broadcasting live from the offices of policebackground.net. This is the Police Applicant Podcast with your host, Ken Roybal.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of the Police Applicant Podcast. This is episode 128. And man, oh man, we don't have any announcements to make, but Donovan wants to laugh at something. I don't know what's going on with that.
You hesitated on the episode. I'm like, oh, is he going to forget what it is?
I got it right here. It's right there, 128. I was reading it.
All right.
So, this episode's going to be epic because we have here a special guest, Investigator Jesse Cohen, Westminster, Colorado Police Department. Jesse, welcome.
What's going on?
The reason, Donovan, welcome back.
Thanks, Ken.
We've been ships crossing in the night. Just haven't been able to hook up the calendars because you're out there in Nevada and doing all kinds of cool stuff, going to conferences and things. But you are expanding your mind and your brain. It's amazing.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Yep.
Well, you're doing a good job of it.
I'm trying.
The reason that this episode is going to be so epic is because we're going to be shooting from the hip. We don't have any notes. We don't have any questions. We're just going to shoot from the hip, and the no better person to have as a guest for this episode is Investigator Jesse Cohen. But before we get started, I just want to mention, because this might go on YouTube, but for our guests that are listening, holy cow, Jesse's rocking this police special mustache. Check that out. What do you think, Donovan? Is that mustache?
Yeah, you went without a script here, so I think he wanted to channel his inner Ken. So you drew the mustache. You said police. I'm kind of going more. It looks more like a firefighter mustache to me. I don't know.
You know, it's funny. I can't decide if I look like a 1980s traffic cop, like a 1950s firefighter, or something else. I'm not really sure. And there's times I like it, and there's times I forget I have it, and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a rough look. But if you can see it, it's pretty good. It stops here. I haven't gone the handlebars yet. I'm not sure. We'll decide. I'll let the viewers decide if they like it or not. They can comment. They can say keep it or shave it. I don't care.
Make a comment on the YouTube comments about whether you like Jesse's mustache or not.
Yep.
Yeah. It's police authorized. It's going to be like, is this a good one? Is it the 70s porn stash? Is it the 80s cop stash?
Hey, Ken, I'm going to date myself. I'm going to go with, is it kind of like the old Buck Savage?
Buck Savage. Buck Savage.
For those that know Buck Savage.
But, either way, it's a good look. It's a very good look.
I don't know if it's a good look. We'll figure it out. And like I said, whatever, I don't care what you say in the YouTube comments. Just be honest, and the fate of the mustache will depend on the YouTube comments.
So what led you down the road that you wanted to grow a mustache?
Well, so I was off last week. I was out in Vegas for World's Jiu-Jitsu, and I didn't shave for 10 days. And then I was going back to work, and I started shaving, and for some reason I just didn't. And part of it too is went to the Morgan Wallen concert, and Morgan Wallen has a mustache. And so I walked downstairs, and my wife looked at me and just didn't really know what to say. And that's honestly what happened. I just kind of did it. And then she was like, well, now you have to go to work, because we all know what everybody's going to say, because everybody's so cordial. And I've gotten exactly the comments that you would think I would get on it. But now everybody's like, well, now you have to keep it. So I kind of regret doing it, because, it's a rough look, man, on me.
Once you get once people see you with the mustache, and then it becomes, they don't see you anymore.
It's a mustache. Yeah. It's funny. I mean, I went to my gym this morning too, and a couple guys I haven't seen since we got back from Vegas, and it was, I don't know, man. It's a weird response I get. So I'm still up in the air about it.
Well, it looks good. I mean, it is Ken.
Well, thank you. It's good. And Ken, to be honest, I mean, it's part you got the stash, man. So I gotta I look up to you, so I gotta grow the stash out.
That's funny. That's good, though. I appreciate that. See, Donovan, I am mentoring people in mustaches.
Yeah, not me. It ain't happening, Ken. I will never go with just a mustache.
Just a mustache. Well, today, let's get started on this. Today, there's been a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff in the news. So today's topic, before we get started, is going to be recruitment in September 2025. And I've been posting stuff. I'll just start out with the LEPD March 2025 class. Just graduated about just a little over a week ago. They started with 31 recruits, and they graduated 16. They need 60. This is just this is just an example of where we are, and this is across the nation. This is just not LEPD. It's so many agencies are struggling to recruit. Donovan's in the mix of it out there doing backgrounds, and Jesse, you are the recruiter and you're a background investigator, and you're struggling with the same things. What is going on, you guys? This is crisis.
Well,
I don't know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Donovan.
I think Dallas found the ultimate way for recruiting now. Cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats.
If money won't bring you in, a cowboy hat sure will.
There you go. What do you think, Jesse?
I don't know. It's I think, and you would probably know better than me, but I'm kind of wondering if LAPD is just hiring. They're like, well, you'll do, and then they're hiring. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I've been to a couple events with LAPD, and I mean, there's people that I'll talk to that maybe wouldn't fit, what we're looking for at Westminster. That LAPD goes and they sign them up and get them going and everything. But I also know they're super short staffed. But it's like, do you really want to drop the standards? I don't know. But I mean, we'll have it where we're opening up it's open right now if people want to apply. But it's our third and final process for our academy for January. And I mean, we'll get a couple people from each process. And again, it's not like we're looking for the Navy SEAL or something like that. It's just, I mean, they just kind of watch out until there's just a couple left. So I don't really know what's going on. I mean, obviously numbers are down from, 5, 6, 8 years ago, but it's still, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to hire people.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of times on Instagram, people send me stuff or I'll see stuff on Instagram, these recruitment videos from some departments. And what's an easy way to do it? What's an easy way to say it, Donovan? They are just silly. They're silly. And guys, you guys are not serious. You're not serious about recruitment. And
I like how you said that, because I was going to say desperation.
Well, I mean, it could be something like that, where it is desperation, or it could be they don't have any idea of what direction to go in, so they go, let's put up something silly. And you guys, what's your opinion? I don't think silly TikTok themed recruitment videos where you're just doing stupid dancing and things, and this is in 2025.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
I don't think they work.
No.
It doesn't. I think I talked about this when we met with, what was a couple months ago, and I've told work too, I refuse to do that. I mean, people want to do that because, that's what everybody does now, like on social media, but this is police work. Like, we're not, who are you going to get to apply if you're dancing? I can't stand it. Like, I want to get people that I want to work with, not people that say, oh, hey, they do TikTok dances, then I want to be a TikTok cop, and this is all I want to do. They don't actually want to do the job. They just want to put a badge on and dance and the other stuff. So if that's what they're going to be doing, that's what they're going to be attracting. And I mean, that's the problem. Then they go to academy or field training, and that's why they're getting 16 people out of 60 because I don't think these people realize what they're signing up for, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And there was a I don't know if it's a TikTok video, but anyways, it was a department that posted a recruitment video, and it was this female officer, and she's on the street, she's looking at a car at a traffic stop, and then the car pulls off, and she sees that she has the license of the driver still, so they film her. She's running down the street, chasing the car, and she goes, oh, well, I'll just impound the license. Like, you know, can't find the person. But the silly premise of it is that then she just stops talking about how she goofed up with that. And, oh, by the way, our Women's Expo is coming up. Come and join us so you can join our department. So they have this look that, boy, that was lame. The video's lame. And then you go, hey, come be a female cop, because that's the lead up. But what I found out, I don't know if I probably sent this to you guys, or you saw it on my Instagram, but a couple days later, they must have got slammed because the video's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
What'll happen is I've seen a bunch of these videos that either, like on Instagram, they either turn the comments off. We know why, because if you read the comments before they shut them off, they're all terrible, or they delete it. And that's why we're like, no, if we're going to post a video, I mean, you've seen our stuff on Instagram. We post like, you know, if we post a community thing, we post a community event. You know, we'll do like our going out interacting with the public, or national night out, or, you know, the SROs playing basketball or something like that. That's police work, not, oh, hold on, let me dance. Like, I can't stand it. Awful.
Well, but what about the other end of it, where these agencies are paying these companies to come in and do a 4 or 5 minute recruiting video?
So I'd say there's a nearby city. They spent $300,000 or something. Maybe it wasn't that much. They spent a lot of money on a recruiting video, and people are like, well, why didn't we do that? Well, first off, this agency, they're about the same size as Westminster. I've heard they're down somewhere, depending on who you talk to, somewhere between 30 and 50 officers. Well, they used, you know, $100,000 per officer, $115,000. You take 3 of those missing officers' salaries, put it towards this video, and the video is pretty cool. And guess what? They're still down 30 or 50 officers, because it's like they're just posting this. And I mean, I've had, you know, guest appearances on podcasts that have more views than their video does, you know?
Right.
So,
well, and we know this new generation, they don't have the attention span to listen to or watch the 4 to 5 minute video. I mean, everything shows, if it isn't done in is it like 15 to 20 seconds on social media? They're gone. They're moving on. So, I mean, they're throwing money in the wrong places, which is just baffling to me.
Yeah, and you know, you would think that most people know that those videos don't work. So the fact that they're still using them just boggles my mind. I don't know what's up with that. But aside from that, even if you have some solid, and I've seen some solid, either static graphics where come and join us, or some videos where they're pretty hardcore, where you go, man, I'd like to do police work there. Even then the numbers aren't coming in.
Right.
Where is everybody, Jesse and Donovan?
So I was reading this thing that the generation, like the under 25 generation, everybody's trying to be an influencer, right? So it's not just police work, right? So I think I was talking to my veterinarian, and he had they have 3 vets that have been there for like 25 to 30 years. So they're kind of looking towards retirement. So they need to bring in some new vets, right? Well, they're bringing these new vets in, and like one of the vets lasted for a week because she was like, I thought we were done working at 5, and somebody brought their dog in at, 4:50, and she didn't want to treat the dog. And he's like, no, you're done working when the animals are treated. And so she got canned after a week. So I think that generation, number one, they don't have that understanding of, that work ethic. But a lot of them, like, if you look at the studies, when they say like, what do people in college want to do for a living? They want to be influencers. All of them think that they're just going to post videos on Instagram and promote, different products or whatever, and make $10,000 a post. And I mean, I think that might be part of the reason, but I don't know. That's my theory.
It's kind of like this generation has moved away from I want to be a professional basketball player, professional football player. Mm-hmm. I want to be an influencer now. So now that's everyone's goal to do that. Because I've seen the same thing, Jesse, and I've sat through these background interviews with these new candidates, and you're talking to them, hey, you know you're going to have to work graveyard shift. They're like, wait, no, this isn't like an 8 to 5 job. No.
Yeah. Well, I've had people come in and they're like, for all sorts of stuff. They're like, oh, hey, during the academy, would I be able to leave early to pick my kids up from school? I'm like, no. I'm like, it's not, we don't have an overnight academy, but I'm like, no, it's, 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. But no, you can't leave the academy early. They're like, oh, I have a vacation planned, midway through the academy, can I just make that part up afterwards? I'm like, no, you can't. So I don't think they understand. Well, I don't know if college is preparing them either. Cause I had a couple of people that I thought have a really good shot to get hired, and they're actually coming in to retake the test, and they took our written test. Background's clean. They're going to do great on their interviews, like good candidates, but they didn't pass the written test. And I asked him, and he was like, everything I did in college, like nothing prepared me for the written test. Because our written test, it's not that difficult, but it's deductive reasoning, common sense, decision making. And he was like, in college, it was, here's a textbook, memorize this. This is what the professor says. This is on the test. And he's like, now I have to make a decision or figure out directions or the best option. He's like, they didn't teach me that. So I think that's part of the issue too.
Yep.
My consultation services, they usually fluctuate throughout the year, but I can tell the patterns of recruitment if my business is busy, where I'm getting a lot of candidates for consultations, then I know that recruitment's getting some numbers too. But within the last, I'd say 3 months, I haven't gotten any consultations. And so my thought is that recruitment overall must be suffering if the hardcore candidates that listen to this podcast aren't serious in doing the consultations. Then that makes me think the ones that aren't as serious, those numbers are going down too. So, but what's interesting is on the podcast, our numbers are the same. They're always the same every month. And there's tons of people listening to the podcast. So I know there's people out there that want to be cops. But I'm just so curious about across the nation, there's departments that are just struggling. And I cannot figure out for the life of me, is it recruitment? Is it nobody wants to be a cop? Do they have an idea of police work? I had somebody call me. I talked to Donovan about this. Somebody called me, or they emailed me or something. And their question to me was, it wasn't about anything else. Their question was, once you get out of the academy and you're on patrol, is it like a ride-along?
No, yeah.
And I didn't know how to answer that. And not to fault the person, who's to fault for that mentality where they don't know what's going on in police work?
No, they don't.
Right.
I had somebody ask me, they were like, they reached out. I can't remember where they found Westminster from, but they were out of state. I want to say one of the biggest, Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, something like that, Philly. And they were like, well, I kind of want to go to Westminster because it's not as dangerous as like Chicago. And I was like, I guess, but I'm like, if you do your research, we're very busy. It's a different type of policing, but I'm like, and she's like, oh, and that was the last I heard, where I think I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't even care if you're working at the slowest city in the metro area. It's still dangerous. Like,
right.
Stuff still happens. So I don't know. That's part of it either, where they just, and that maybe that's the TikTok stuff where they see the videos on TikTok and they think, oh, I don't have to actually do the job. I can just go and dance and send, do whatever, but I'm not going to actually have to be a cop. And then they find out they do. You know what else I get a lot of? I want to be a homicide detective. Okay, I'm sure. Let me guess. I'm like, you watch Netflix serial killer documentaries. And I'll tell them, like, that's awesome. But you have to be patrol first. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, they're like, is that just at Westminster? I'm like, no, that's universal. I'm like, and you're not just going to go patrol for 2 years and be a homicide detective. I'm like, you're going to work patrol for X amount of years. Then you're going to be a miscellaneous crimes detective. Then you're going to be a crimes against persons detective. And then you can go to homicide. And they don't want to do that. They want to go 21 years old out of college and go straight to homicide, which, like, I want to investigate serial killers. I'm like, well, that doesn't happen very often. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, it's that whole instant gratification mentality. Mm-hmm. And then when they find out, because it's not like the TV shows as a homicide detective, when they find out, when they start doing the investigation, it takes forever and it's a lot of boring stuff going on. They'll be like, why am I even doing this? Mm-hmm. It's part of the new culture that's going on, and that's what's frustrating. The other thing I've seen, though, is you got departments that are struggling. They want the numbers, and I'm not going to mention any specific recruiting agencies that departments are paying, but they're bringing in quantity.
Yes.
And that is it. You're bringing in people who have no idea. They just, your agency's hiring, I'm going to apply because I can't find a job in any other market, so I'm going to apply to be a police officer. And they got no clue. And this is the group that they don't check what the disqualifiers are, because, I mean, we're disqualifying people left and right more than ever before they ever start any part of the background or anything, because they don't know anything about law enforcement. And I think that's a dangerous thing that we're doing by allowing these private recruiting companies who have no idea they were in a different recruiting area. Oh, law enforcement needs it. Let's charge them hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we'll give them a whole bunch of applicants, which are turning out to be nothing.
And that's why I like how we do it at Westminster, because we're cops and we hire cops. We don't use HR. We don't use civilians. Cops hire cops. Like cops do the recruiting, cops do the interviews, cops do the backgrounds. I think the agencies that do like the civil service and the civilians, they'll see somebody like, yeah, they'll be good. No, I know what a cop looks like. I know who I want to work with. I've done this for a long time. I'm going to pick the right person. The civilian may or may not. And I think that's part of it too. I mean, I've seen these places, these agencies, and, they'll post, oh, hey, we just hired, 25 people. And I look at, and 17 of them tested for us. And we said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've interviewed people. We interviewed a chief one time from Indiana, and he had this recruitment video for his department, and it was hardcore SWAT and doing all this police work and things like that. And city council or somebody told him, "Hey, that's a little bit hardcore." That's like, and I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Because you're trying to shield these people from real police work. All you got to do is turn on the news, and you can see what police work is like. You're not shielding anybody, but if you want to recruit people, why go the soft sell?
Right.
Why go we're super inclusive and we want you to be you, and here's a dance. And I'm thinking, man, you guys are not serious about recruitment, because everybody's fighting for the same small group of people.
Mm-hmm. And I tell people, I don't care what your experience is. We're going to teach you how to be a cop. We just care how you are as a person, but you also have to know what you're getting into. Like, but and they always talk about that. Well, I didn't even know I wanted to be a cop. Like, I kind of fell into this by chance. I had zero. I don't think I touched a gun before I went to academy. And so it was like, I was 13 years ago. So don't worry about that. But at the same time, like, if you're ready to work, let's go to work. And that's the ones we get, I mean, we'll get the people that have a good attitude, ready to work, good work ethic. But the problem is nowadays that's hard to find.
Yeah. Right? I know that some agencies, I know LAPD hired an outside advertising agency, and they kind of lucked out because I don't know who had all the input on it, but the ads came out pretty solid. They were more hardcore, as opposed to a few years ago when LAPD had some girl sitting on an escalator holding a guitar in a nice little dress and saying, "Join us." Like, are you out of your mind? And so I think they've done pretty good so far. But you were talking about somebody wanted to spend $300,000 on some, advertisement recruitment effort. But I don't think I'm as far as what you're saying, Donovan, hiring outside agencies like LAPD did that years ago. What a mess.
Yep.
What a mess that was. And so what should the advertisements look like if you actually want to attract people to do the job?
Go ahead, Jess.
I think you need to be honest. So I'll tell you from experience, you have to be honest. When I go and talk to whoever I'm going to talk to, right? Football team or sports team or criminal justice program or whatever, I'm just straight up honest. Like I tell them how it is. And I usually get, people thanking me for that because, everybody, whatever the job is, even if it's not policing, everybody gives them the same thing. We're a family and we do this and blah, 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 blah. Like, and I just tell them how it is. I'm like, this is how it is. This is what we're looking for. Like, if you don't want it, I don't really care. But if you want it or you're interested in it, come talk to me. And this is what you're going to see. This is how you're going to work. And they appreciate that. They appreciate my no BS approach. It's probably not, if I work for like a corporate company, I don't know how much they would like that, but I don't. So, I mean, that's pretty much how I approach it.
What do you say, Donovan?
For me, again, I mean, if you're going to hit social media, it has to be quick and to the point. I think you get a lot more bang for your buck if you just either show couple quick clips of officers in action, or if you have an officer just saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, love this job, whatever, to make it really quick to get to them. If you're looking outside, it's tough because, I mean, I see these agencies going to all these recruiting fairs and they're desperate. They're going to not just, law enforcement recruiting fairs. They're going to like the county recruiting fair and, all these just wide open recruiting fairs. And again, I don't know what they're getting. So I don't know that there is I don't think anyone's figured out the formula right now as to the best way to recruit with this new generation. That's the hard part because it's a demanding job that isn't fitting into what this new generation wants to deal with, I guess.
Yep. Going back to the LAPD class where they originally hired 31 and they graduated 16, they lost 50% of the class in the academy. That's not even getting to the part where police work is hard in the field. And so it makes me question, it's just a multifaceted thing. Where would you guys say even before they get out of the academy or, just at the recruitment part, would you say the days are gone when you could post a graphic, just a static graphic on Instagram that says, hey, we're hiring, here's the benefits, call this number? Are those days gone?
No, we do that. We do something similar with that. And we always just give them my work phone number. We did that on that one podcast I did. And I mean, I tell people to text me. They need, what it is they need to talk to somebody, not just a computer. So like for me, it's, and if you're going to give somebody your phone number, you have to be quick with it. I can't tell you how many people I talk to where they're like, yeah, I reached out to this department's recruiting line or, I met this person at a job fair, send them an email, send them a text. I haven't heard anything. And I mean, I've got people from your podcast, from the 10 code mindset I did. I mean, I get texts all the time but I respond to them right away. And then that's what they like too. So, and we do that on Westminster's is we'll post, hey, we're going to open up an application or whatever, either apply or reach out to me. You can text me or email me and then I'll just respond right away. So I think that helps. But if you're going to do it, you need to be available. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I would say be available. But you also, if you're going to do a graphic like that, it has to be able to be read very quickly with not a lot of detail. I mean, just like you said, we're hiring, closes this date, give me a call. And the responsive thing is is the biggest thing, because again, it's that immediate feedback that they need. And if they text you and you don't respond right away, you're already out of their mind.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So would you say that a lot of times the candidates that apply, so they need to have someone they can talk to?
Mm-hmm.
And would you say that the candidates that apply, do they need a lot of hand-holding? Are they go-getters? Are there some that are just solid, ready to go?
I would say yes across the board on everything you said, Ken.
I agree.
You have the ones that, man, they come in, they just tear up the whole application process, the background, everything. Everything is just all in order. You have some that, you need to just direct a little bit. And there's a couple where, like for me, it kind of pains me. I'm like, I don't know if this is the right job for you, but you got to hold their hand to get them through. And they're the ones who'll call you 20, 50 times during that whole process with a question, about every minute little question. It's an array. I mean, at least that's what I'm seeing. Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's just, there's not, you can't have a concrete answer for that because it's just all over the place. And I mean, I think all of them are, every type of candidate has potential for sure. It's just a matter of how they approach it. And, the good thing with us is that we're cops. So one of our skills is reading people. So what I do is I just read the person and I know how to approach them. There's some people that I'm pretty hands off with, and I'll just touch base with them once a week, make sure they're good. There's other people I talk to 2-3 times a day, and answer their questions, make sure they're good. They're still good candidates, but that's just how they approach it. And there's other people that, they're kind of in between. So, there's just no way. It's all over the place.
Yeah, I would say a great example is Ken, you probably remember back in the day when you got a background packet, normally it was always, you had like maybe 10 days to fill that packet out and get it back, right? Mm-hmm. Handwritten and all that, and computer as well. Now I'm talking to other background investigators, they're giving them 30 days to do the online thing. And then if they don't have it done, they can call the background investigator and get an extension because they just couldn't get it done in 30 days.
We don't.
If you didn't have it done in 10 days, you're out.
Ours is a week. Yeah, we have a week for ours. Like you get the software email. Like we have a software we do, and then we email it to them, and then they fill it out and it uploads for us. And you have, if you need an extension, it better be like we had one who, they did an oral board and then they were on a planned vacation for like a year. That's fine. They're gone for 10 days, and that's not a problem. We're not going to hold that over their head. But if you're in town and we send you that background stuff, it better be back within, and we'll do it over the weekend. We'll send it on a Wednesday, and you have to get it back on a Wednesday. So you have time to do it, Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are hardcore yet, but I'm hearing a lot of departments now. They're giving them everything under the sun to get this done. You need another 10 days after waiting 30 days and you haven't even logged in yet. Yeah, we'll give you an extension. And that gets frustrating for background investigators, but some departments are at that point. They're like, what else do we do? We've got to figure out how to get more people in.
Well, that's a problem. That can be a problem too with, if the person does get hired, then when they're in academy, they're like, well,
yep,
I'm going to take this day off. Then they get to field training. And then if they do pass field training, then it's like, oh, well, I don't know. And so now you have a cop who is entitled and thinks, they deserve everything. So for us, we're like, no, this is how it is. We're going to treat you well, but you need to get it done,
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying there's departments out there that are like me and Ken have said, they are lowering the standards, and that's what they're getting. You're exactly right. Those are the ones who are going to be the biggest problem for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've seen it before with departments where they handhold the candidate's hand. And the whole problem with that, there's this chain that if you handhold the candidate through the application process and then handhold them through the background, then, then the academy will have to handle it. And if the academy goes, oh, please just graduate, and then they barely graduate, then they kick the can down the road to patrol, and patrol hates everybody. And then, you can't keep hand-holding them down the line. In this podcast, someone just asked me a question, because sometimes we come across on the podcast as being kind of hardcore, and the question was about the academy. Shouldn't you let them know if the academy's hard or what they're going to be going through? And I told them, if you if you have to tell the candidate what the academy's like, they shouldn't be applying, because the academy is going to be the academy. If you cannot make it through there, you have to go, is it going to be hard for me? Well, it should be. It should be. Is that going to change your mind? Because the bottom line on this podcast is that we don't hold hands and we don't hold back. We tell people the worst thing that can happen to you is you can get dead on the job. Someone will take your life, and you just take it from there. Is the job hard? Sure. But I'm not a fan of holding candidates' hands, and that includes the recruitment process. And I think that's a lot of times with these recruitment, the ones that make Instagram are the ones that look stupid, are the ones that look silly.
Yep.
And I think that some departments are they look so desperate. Like you said, Donovan, they look desperate.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Westminster's not like that.
No, we're not. I mean, you guys know this. We've been fully staffed for a while. And the cool thing is we're still hiring. So if anybody's interested in applying to Westminster, we're fully staffed. I think right now we're down 1 or 2 people, maybe. But we have our academy process going. We're going to hire as many academy people as we can. We have our laterals going. I think we have a couple laterals and backgrounds, couple laterals just got conditional offers. So I'm already getting ready to teach all the mini academies. But no, we're not going to be. I mean, we don't lower our standards. We want the right person, which is, I don't know if we have a type of person, but I guess you guys could probably see by just our conversation what we're looking for. But yeah, we don't lower our standards. And I mean, it is funny because we do regional academies out here. I know LAPD has the LA Academy. Out here, it's a regional academy. So we have a certain academy we go to, and there's like 11 or 12 departments that go there. And every time I go to a graduation, I'll see the Westminster cops and then the other agency cops graduate. And from each agency, there's 1 to 5 officers that I recognize their name for some reason or another,
Mm-hmm.
So as far as recruitment in general goes, the numbers for you, Jesse, and I think for you, Donovan, where are your candidates coming from? I mean, are they coming from the ads or the benefits they heard about it? Where are they coming from?
I think somebody asked me that the other day. I would say the last written test we had, about 80% of the people came from me. But I'm not trying to sound like arrogant, but I would say I knew the room was packed. In fact, we had to open up another room, and it was about 80% of them had some sort of interaction with me. And it could be anything from a military base to a college sports team, to a college, to podcasts, to articles, to, some of when we do our Instagram videos, we do, I have these like blanket emails I do to various, I don't know if it's workforce is wrong, like various military bases, like guys getting out of the military, guys and girls getting out of the military. I'll send out emails to that. So something that I did, they brought in, and then the rest came, they either saw it on Indeed or our social media posted it, or LinkedIn or whatever it may be.
So you guys are all over the place then.
Yeah, I do. I don't just focus on one thing. I mean, I'm pretty much like, I don't even know how many avenues I have. I probably have 20 different avenues I do to at least get our name out there.
So Donovan, I think that Jesse needs to teach a class to departments on how to recruit successfully.
Right. I mean, and for like me, in the Vegas area, I mean, everyone's been hearing that tourism is taking a nosedive there, and there's a lot of places laying people off. And what I'm seeing is it's actually our employees who are getting the word out. I see a lot of people coming through saying I was referred by so-and-so or so-and-so, which is good that we have people internally doing that. And that takes a load off, but there's still a lot of them that, I saw an Instagram ad, I saw a Facebook ad, and, and you can tell the difference in quality.
I'll tell you what,
being referred, it's a better quality person coming through.
I actually saw something I really liked that when I was out in Vegas. So out at Worlds, I think there was something like 12,500 competitors, and North Las Vegas PD had a booth set up. What they did is they had all their cops train jiu-jitsu, and so that were there. So they'd have like 5 or 6 guys there a day, and they set up a little physical like PT course. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know how many they got, because of course I was walking by and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be a cop?" And I'm like, you might want to Google me first, but no, I talked to the guy for a little bit. But I looked, they had a bunch of people sign up because I thought that was a genius idea. I mean, most people that are going out there either have jobs or jiu-jitsu is their full-time career, but they had probably 2 pages worth of names out there. And I thought I told them, I'm like, I think this is an awesome idea. And they didn't have to travel. They probably just paid, the event however much. And then they had their booth set up for 3 days. Like, genius idea. I thought that was great.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Vegas Metro, they do a good job too, because they run 2 times a week, a physical fitness prep mm-hmm. for their testing. And I think that's a great way too, to get those candidates in. Mm-hmm. And you're able to now start, all right, this is what you need to expect. And you can start weeding out some people before they actually test, which is good. But then you can actually key in on the ones that mm-hmm. look like really great candidates, and you can really mm-hmm. start schmoozing them there. So yeah, we're starting to do that more. And I mean, I see Vegas doing this. They're posting it all the time. One thing I think where some agencies miss the mark is they don't have their own recruiting social media. They just rely on the department's general mm-hmm. social media, where when you have that dedicated social media for recruiting, man, you can really hone in. And I've seen a lot of departments do that. And I see a lot of good content mm-hmm. on those pages. The dances go to those agencies that don't understand it, and they're just doing it on their general. But, does Westminster have your own social media for recruiting?
No, we just use our own page. We have a PIO that she's not a cop, but she basically does all our social media, and she's done a really good job. I mean, we get, we probably do 1 or 2 posts a day, and we'll do everything from like arrests to big calls to all sorts of other stuff, and we'll do like our recruiting stuff as well there. So that's probably on me. So yeah, but no, I don't do any of the social media there.
But if you're one guy doing it, it's tough to do it all,
Yeah, that's the problem. I just don't have time. Like,
team that can do it, and that's you're getting paid for your buck that way. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I just don't have time to do it. So
well, you get pulled in a lot of different directions. They want mm-hmm. you to write articles for different websites. You're on different podcasts, and plus mm-hmm. you have to do your own job. So,
and he's got to take time to groom the mustache.
Got to groom the mustache. That takes a couple hours a day. Look at that mustache. Look at that. That's awesome.
Do you get food stuck in it, Ken?
Sometimes.
Because I've actually noticed that. I was eating breakfast this morning, and I had like egg stuck in my mustache.
Ken just gave me a snack for later.
Oh, geez. I don't want to turn a corner. I don't want to get political. So let's set that right out the gate there. But there's been a lot of talk in the news about ICE, and ICE got all this funding and blah blah blah, and they put out that they said, hey, so we got all this money and we're hiring, and they got 100,000 applicants. Mm-hmm. So where did the energy? Is there some kind of energy in their recruitment? Because they weren't all. They had some. I saw some ads on Instagram where they were just going, "Hey, we're hiring, blah blah blah," and they got all these applications. So I don't think it's that the candidates aren't out there. But how did they get all these numbers? Where did they get all jazzed from?
First off, Ken, how many of those are serious applicants to start with?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can say, I have this many. How many, when they do a publicity stunt like that, and ICE is in the news all the time, good, bad, everyone has their own feelings on it. How many of those were joke applications coming in, people mm-hmm. just trying to bog the system down? I don't know.
But I'm not trying to get into that. Is the fact that even if 50,000 of them were just joking on ice, even if it was only 50,000, that's a crap ton of people that want to join. How are they able to get those numbers?
I think I agree. I think part of it, I don't know how many, I think part of it's a joke. I will tell you though, I think what I've seen, there's a lot of them that are cops that want to leave their department, but they're like, if I go to ICE, I don't have to work a beat. So I'm not going to go from department A to department B where maybe it's better, maybe it's not, but I'm going to go from, working a beat on Graves here to working a beat on Graves here. Now I get to go to ICE and I'm going to have a much, much different form of policing. And so it's like a new opportunity almost. They actually recruited me. I was down on one of the military bases and I was just walking around and the guy was like, "Hey, you want to come work for me?" And I mean, like I had to be nice where I was like, number one, I'm not going through an academy. Number two, I don't want to get assigned to, a city I don't want to work in. And it was a huge pay cut. It was even with their signing bonus. I mean, I was not even, because I told them, I'm like, well, listen, if I'm going to come work for you guys, now I was being a little entitled. I'm like, this is my experience and these are my credentials. I'm like, so I need this, 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 and this, and this. And he's like, no, you're entry level. I'm like, then no, but so don't do that. But those were my stipulations for them.
Right. And I'll go back to my first comment on when we were talking about recruiting is, it's that mass thing of, all right, so we've got quantity out of those 50,000 or 100,000, whatever. How many are quality? Again, these independent companies that go out and do all this recruiting, push out these ads and everything, they can get the quantity all day long, but what are you getting for quality? So, I don't think the numbers that ICE pulled in shocked me at all. And I don't think you're going to see a huge bump in their hiring because I don't know that they're going to have the quality that they're looking for.
Well, I think they have to bump up because they got a few $1 billion for their agencies to hire. So they have to turn the numbers. Now, you may be correct as far as quality goes because you cannot process that many applicants with, you can't take 5-6 months to process 25,000 hires.
Right. I'll be interested to see because I mean to get a federal job you've got to go through those polygraph exams and those are worse than just a regular police agency's polygraph. The feds don't joke around. They're pretty intense and I've known guys that have been on the job for years squeaky clean and they can't get past the polygraph for a fed. So I'm really skeptical that they're going to get many people hired out of this 100,000 or whatever it is. We'll see. Pressure's on. Are they going to lower the standard?
Yeah, I'm really interested in the numbers because I feel like there's candidates that are out there. And what is it that police departments can do? Because police departments, there's not many like Jesse. And Jesse takes a big interest in recruitment and what he's doing to get people hired and to make them interested in Westminster. But by and large, the departments around the nation aren't as successful as Jesse is. So what is Jesse doing? Because Jesse doesn't mess around. I don't think you go, hey, man, so, hey, here's an ice cream. If you come in today, I mean, there's no like carrots that you're holding out.
Well, so one of the cool things we have at our department is you get a department issued rifle. It's a Daniel Defense short barrel aim point optic. So that is a little bit of a carrot because it's required on patrol. So a little bit of a carrot there. That's if anybody wants a rifle, just come work for Westminster, Colorado, not California. I still get emails all the time. They're like, "Hey, California." I'm like, no, but no, I don't really hold any carrots out. I'm like I said, you have to tell them how it is, not what they want to hear, because
And I think part of it is, and I'm not just going to say Jesse, I think his department as a whole has set a reputation for Westminster. That it is, and I mean, I remember, early on in my career, there were certain departments that everyone wanted to work for, and I've talked to a couple people, even coming up to, since we planned this, hey, I'm going to be meeting with the, recruiter for Westminster, and a couple of them from the Colorado area were like, oh, wow, that's the place to work. And
that's,
and you guys done a lot to build up your reputation. So, again, that's on your department. I don't want to take it away from you, Jesse, but I mean,
no.
You're the face of the department, but I mean, your department has done a good job building that reputation.
I'm the face of the department with a mustache.
Numbers might be going down now. I don't know.
But no, the thing is it's not me. It's the department. I mean, even when I was applying, it was everybody knew about Westy. It was. I mean, you look at even I've gone to some of these police pages and they'll say, what department does this, or where do you think? And there's somebody will post, oh, have you heard of Westminster, Colorado? And they've never even heard of me. No, it's just our department. I mean, we've been like this since as long as I can remember.
Yeah. And the reason why I said that is I work with a guy who started off in Pueblo and he hasn't been back to Colorado since the late 90s. And when I talked about Westminster, he's like, yeah, that was an agency back then that, everyone wanted to work for. So Westminster had that reputation. And I think that's, again, Jesse's doing a great job of maintaining it and bringing the people in. But man, talk about something that's really helping out the recruiting process is that agency's reputation, over the years. That's what's so great about Westminster. And what really kind of makes, I don't want to say your job's easy, Jesse. I mean, you still put in a lot of work, but it does make it an easier lift for you than other recruiters.
It is. And I mean, I even I've talked to too many from other agencies all over the country, and they say part of the reason they do it because they don't want to work the road. And I'm like, that comes out. And I tell guys, I'm like, I love working patrol. You kidding me? Like I have so much fun on patrol, but it comes out if you just become, go back to the office for hiring and recruiting because you don't want to work patrol, that's going to be, that's going to show. And then you just don't have the, or if you have somebody who did a year on the road and is recruiting and they're like, well, tell us about this. You don't know. You worked a year on the road. I mean, I did 10 years on patrol, so it's like, you have to have that too, I think.
Well, and again, like you said, I mean, you've got to be that person out there who's really interested in doing recruiting, because you said some people just want to get off the road. I had an agency talk to me and they're like, well, we don't know what to do. We have this website set up where when the candidate gets on there, they can type in their interest in this AI bot and it sends out a message back to them. Here's where you go to register. And I said, well, do you get any information that they've done it? Well, yeah, we get the text message that they've, filled that, or that they put in the request. I said, does anyone reach out to them? Well, no, why would I do that? Because the AI bot sent them a response to go to this website. I said, so as a recruiter, what else do you do? No, I make sure that everything's running smoothly. I'm like, you're not doing the recruiting.
Yeah, recruiting is hands-on. You have to answer the phone. You have to talk to the candidate because it's a sales job. You're in competition with every other agency, and when you pick up the phone and you go, so what's up? And you blah, 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 blah. And here's my number. Call me if you have any hiccups, you have any more questions. I can help you with the application process. That's what recruitment is. It's not AI. It's not automated.
Nope.
And I think that candidates have always looked for a human touch, where they can reach out to someone who can demystify the process, or basically they call Jesse and they go, hey, do I have a chance? And as soon as you hook them and you go, no one else has talked to me except Jesse. And I feel like I want to apply there. And if you're, if they're talking to a website and the little robot looking bot AI guy,
right,
called it, go to this website. That's what a turnoff, man.
Yeah. When I would have the candidate in the room when I was recruiting and they'd be sitting there, I'm like, all right, here's my used car speech. I'm selling you the used car and it's going to be the best used car you ever bought. And then I get right into, what our department had to offer. But I was talking with them and a lot of recruiters don't do that anymore. Again, like Jesse said, They just want to be off the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And gone are the days when I joined and there was a poster on the freeway or something that said, here's LAPD's hiring, call this number. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't call the number,
Right.
But those days are gone. And now it's flipped the other way where if LAPD puts a sign up, and this is not just pointing out this department, but there's a lot of departments where they're in the news for not great things. And now you put that in and people go, oh, not today.
Right.
And so you can't rely on just your reputation, because when your reputation was good, it was good. When it's bad, it's bad. And so you can't rely on that to recruit people. So closing this out, just recruitment, and this is hitting the news. It's been in the news for a few years now. It's just bad across the country. And what do you guys say to the candidates that are on I think it's department specific. I think if I tell candidates, hey, go here, and they'll tell me, I haven't heard good things about that department. And if I say, go to Westminster, and I talk up Westminster, what's going to get candidates through the door now?
Oh man. It's I will say, I do think you have to show them what you have to educate them on it. Right. I mean, I think one of the biggest things I've seen, especially going to the colleges, is like, I don't think people realize like how much we make. And when I tell them like what our salary is and what it's going to be eventually, they're like mind blown. And it's not, most of them, it's not even an option for them. They're like, yeah, I went to my guidance counselor or whatever, and it was these corporate jobs or grad school or whatever, and police wasn't even on the table. That was like me. So I think just getting out in front of people and letting them know that this is an option. I think that's important. Getting out online as much as you can is important. I mean, I joke about Googling me, but like actually Google me and you'll see. And I think that's huge because, if you look up, Colorado police, Westminster is going to be probably one of the first ones you see. So I think that's huge. I don't know. I mean, it's, you got to have a lot of different avenues. You can't just rely on one thing. And you know what, like, I do think the reputation. So it's like, for example, I have a really good relationship down at one of the military bases. And so we've hired a couple people from the military base, and now they're recruiting people from their military base. So we've got guys from their units, they're ETSing and getting out, and then they're applying. So each process, and then they're doing my job for me. So then they just get me the number, but I didn't have to do anything for it, So I think have a good relationship pipeline, whether it's a military base or a college or a college sports team or, whatever it may be. I think having a good pipeline is huge.
Yeah. I mean, the apparently the salaries that people are offering and the bonuses and things like that, they're not necessarily working anymore.
No. And I mean, the big thing I always tell candidates is don't chase the money. I mean, if the money's really great and you get all the bells and whistles and all the cool toys and all that kind of stuff, they're doing that for a reason sometimes. I mean, you got to do your research on the department. You got to do the ride along. You've got to dig around because, man, there are so many agencies throwing so much money at this, even for the signing bonuses and everything. You got to be skeptical on that. Why are they doing it? Mm-hmm. Jesse, do you guys do a signing bonus at all?
Yeah, we do. Ours is, we do $10,000. It's not right away. It's $5,000. Yeah, it's $5,000 after field training, $5,000 after probation. And you guys are killing it in the hiring, and you're not. I mean, really, when you look around the country, $10,000 isn't a lot, for a hiring. And it's not. That's not your big draw. Then it's your reputation. It's more for like relocation because we get a lot of out of state people, and so I'm like, just use that for your your moving costs or your rent or whatever it may be. But no, I mean, ours is there. Some places don't do it. Some places have $70,000 signing bonuses. And we're still doing better than they are, I mean, we'd be, like I said the last time, we'd be fully staffed if we didn't just have 2 retirements.
Right.
And then I think we have 3 more pending retirements this year. So it's as soon as we've had a week, was it in July, where we were overstaffed, and then we had 2 retirements. So
wow,
so close.
You are the envy of a lot of recruiters in the department right now.
Yeah.
Those retirements are hurting your numbers, Jesse.
I know. It's like every time I see that, I'm like, oh no, we're down 2. What am I going to do? And I mean, we're literally 99% staffed. So
those retirements are job security for Jesse. If he didn't have to fill spots, what would he do?
Honestly, that's a running joke. When they're like, so are you done? And I was like, I hope not. I was like, I think we got some more retirements coming up.
Yeah, you're like, come on, please retire.
Yeah, but the thing, that's why we always try to overhire, because I already know who's leaving. I mean, we have guys with their, we have those 30-year cops that have their clock. They're like 14 working days left.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
So Jesse, where can they find your articles? How can they get a hold of you and your department website? How can they apply? Because I think after this episode, we painted a pretty dire picture, not because of the departments, but because the candidates aren't applying. But Jesse, there's only a few spots left. How many spots do you have available right now in September?
Yeah, as many as we want.
As many as they want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because we don't put a number on it. So if you're a good person, we'll hire you. And if we're overstaffed, which we will be, then we'll just argue it. And yeah, I don't know. So don't worry about the numbers, because we have laterals we're going to hire. We have entry level we're going to hire. So we'll just hire.
So do they just Google Investigator Jesse Cohen? How do they?
You can. So you can look me up online. You can Google me. I'm on Police One. I have my own page on Police One with a bunch of articles. I've been on this podcast numerous times. I was just on the 10 code mindset. I actually have a jiu-jitsu article out about our arrest control program. That you can look that up. You can just type my name, jiu-jitsu, Westminster Police, and it comes up on that. You can text me. My number's 720-705-3732. So 720-705-3732. For laterals, we have a process that's open. Actually, laterals, our process never closes. So if you're a lateral, you want to apply, you can just apply. You can either text me, I can send you the website, or it's Westminster, Colorado. Just look up Westminster, Colorado Police Department. For entry level, this is going to be our last process for the year. It closes on Monday. What's a week? Not this Monday. What's the week from Monday? So what is that? September 15th or something? Or
15th or 16th,
okay,
something like that.
So whatever that is, whatever the Monday is, September 15th or 16th, our process is open through then. So if you're entry level in the academy, you can apply. Lateral, you can apply whenever. And like I said, if you can't find it, you should be able to. But if you can't, just text me and I'll send you the link. One more time for my number. Can you see it on here? No, you can't. Okay, so 720-705-3732. Can you put that up there, Kim?
Yeah, let me put it up real quick here. Hang on. And got to grab my keyboard here, and so throw me that number again.
Yeah, 720-705-3732.
3732.
And I'm on my days off right now. So if you text me like this weekend, I'll respond. I might be a little delayed. And then next week, I'm actually teaching arrest control. So I have my phone with me, but I'm going to be on the mat most of the day. So like I check my phone at breaks. If I'm in the office, I'll respond to you right away. But next week, I might just be a little bit delayed just because I can only really text when I'm taking a break from teaching. So, but yeah, shoot me a text anytime. I'll get back to you. I promise. I'm very receptive. So
I have the most difficult question of all. This is going to put Jesse on the spot. Jesse, I haven't told you about this question. I'm going to ask it to you. How long after a lateral or a new hire gets hired before they can grow a mustache like yours?
It depends. Is my mustache good or bad?
Oh, it's amazing. It's either a firefighter mustache or it's a police mustache. It depends.
Donovan, what do you think?
I don't like mustaches, so I'm just going to say it's horrible.
Don't you have a mustache?
That's fair.
What is
I got a full beard, Ken. That's different.
So is that a full beard? Okay.
Laterals, you can have a mustache. You won't look as good as me, but you can have a mustache if you want anytime. Entry level, you can't have any facial hair in the academy, but then after academy, you can grow a beard or mustache. I'd recommend just the mustache because it's amazing and it looks great and I look amazing. But
look amazing.
but is it going to be as good as mine? I guess that depends on if you think it's good or not. And I hate to say it, but I'm actually on Donovan's side here because I look in the mirror. I forget I have it. I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my, what am I doing? Like I look ridiculous.
Donovan,
so
you are no help, man.
Yeah, I'm on your side, Donovan. It's pretty bad, bro.
You just said you look amazing.
Yeah, that's probably like more of a cover. Like I'm self-conscious about it. I'm trying to pull the Morgan Wallen off, but it is just not happening.
It's okay. It's okay. I think the mustache looks great. I think.
Oh, thanks.
In order to make it super legit, though, you should have certificates that are signed Jesse Cohen approved mustache, and they would be able to frame that, put that in their house and stuff like that. That'd be awesome.
No,
little mustache comb.
Little mustache comb.
I don't know how long I can stand this thing for. Like, we'll see. I'll let you know when I shave it. It might be sooner than later.
Oh, thanks, Donovan. Thanks a lot for that. Well, that'll do it for us. Jesse, thanks for coming on here.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome.
I thought the first person, I got to call Jesse and get the scoop on recruitment. And of course, Donovan's in the mix of it in another state altogether. And so I just hear what I hear and I see what I see and I talk to people and I'm like, what the heck? So recruitment across the nation is in a crisis. That's just the bottom line. And it's up to the departments like Jesse to turn that around. And Jesse, you live in a very space that's very small with regard to recruitment because you're the success story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that if there are any recruiters or anybody listening to this has some pull, I think you guys ought to get on the phone and call Jesse.
Yeah, and if you want to FaceTime me, I'll shave first. I promise.
And another thing I want to bring up is that it was all over Instagram, so I'm not just dropping names here, but Donovan brought up this cowboy hat thing. Dallas PD, they had a very small story, and it was on the news, and they go, a recruitment tool. Dallas PD can now wear cowboy hats, and I'm thinking, nice move, but I don't think that the cowboy hat is probably going to pull in a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you thought you've heard the most ridiculous recruiting tool ever, cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats. I think cowboy hats are cool. I think they're really cool.
I think they're cool, but not as a recruiting tool.
No, not as a
I have a cowboy hat. I have a cowboy hat, but I'm the guy that watched Yellowstone. And then like I got all my cowboy stuff because I wanted to look like Rip Wheeler. So that's my cowboy.
That's your cowboy hat. You don't wear it in uniform though.
No.
So, but again, guys, thanks a lot for being here. We will be back in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for listening to the Police Applicant Podcast. We are the premier police background prep site in the U.S. and Canada. For more information on scheduling your police background consultation, go to policebackground.net. Also, please leave us a review on iTunes.